Congratulations. Your trophy, sir.
Thanks.
You took it down as a control deck. We haven't seen that in a little bit of a while now. And you were playing blue-white-red. Bit different from what we're used to seeing with blue-white-red. No Restoration Angels, no Augur of Bolus, only 2 Snapcaster Mages. You were really a very creature-light version, leaning on the new kid on the block, Aetherling, as your primary kill mech, and a little bit of a Sumbul Legion too. I think we got to see that.
Right.
So, what made you decide to go that direction with blue-white-red for this event?
Because honestly, I was thinking about Boros Reckoner, which is played a lot in the blue-white-red matchup. It's getting hated out a lot, so I decided to cut them completely. I was faced an American Mirror in round 9 that also ran the Augurs and Snapcasters and Restos heavily. And it also used Moreland Haunt to get the spirits in. It's also good, but the reason why I went with a lot of heavy removal is because I have to deal with things like Sire of Insanity from Jund, and I was really worried about that. And things like aggro decks, I really needed those instant speed kill spells more than the creatures.
Sure. Augur of Bolus is pretty good against the creature decks, but obviously against things like Sire of Insanity, that's the exact opposite of where you want to be.
Exactly.
Investing your mana into something you're just going to lose later on. So that makes a lot of sense, and obviously, you had plenty of answers to things like Sire of Insanity. You had War Leader's Helix, you had Turn and Burn. Turn and Burn, I think, was a really nice card for you over the course of the day, from what I saw. How many of those were you running, and did it play out as expected?
I was running 2 Turn and Burn main board and 1 in the side, and I found myself bringing the side one in a lot. It was really, really helpful. The possibility of 2-for-1ing with, if you have a Snapcaster Mage or Aetherling on board, is amazing. The fact that I can kill almost anything in the format instantly is amazing as well. And I brought it in. Before Dragon's Maze, I was playing Rapid Hybridization instead.
It's a little weaker.
Yeah, it's a lot weaker. But I needed some way to deal with Obsidat because it was out of range of Spear.
So Turn and Burn really just kind of puts it all together. It handles
Obsidat,
handles Sire of Insanity, handles pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Even a Falcon Wrath Aristocrat from time to time.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty good. Moving to your kill condition, Aetherling, this was kind of his coming out party in Standard. We saw him a lot at the Pro Tour, obviously, where he made a big impression in block. And he's kind of started to do that in Standard now. I know that you actually dueled in an Aetherling Mirror earlier in the event. Do you foresee him becoming the new kill condition in these kind of decks?
I think so. I think for control, Aetherling's where you want to be because it's inevitable. Like how Obsidat was inevitable in Gatecrash, this is even harder to remove, and it does even more damage. Yeah,
there's definitely some parallel between them, but Aetherling, way more difficult to get rid of. You just have to be pretty careful about it, and obviously, you're pretty much worried. You had to be excited about that top 8 bracket, right? You had the green-white deck you had to get past in the first round, but that's actually not so bad for you compared to the Augur of Bolus versions. You've got so much more removal. You have things like Turn and Burn. It seems like it's not as bad as it could be. And then once you get past the green-white deck, it's just these red-green aggro decks. That's right where you want to be. So, did you feel pretty comfortable, even as the 8th seed going into the semifinals and the finals?
When I found out I had to go against the Solicitor deck, it was kind of, I wasn't so sure about it because the 4 main Barthalias were a problem, and I was worried about those, but it all turned out pretty okay, I think. As far as the Gruul matchups went, against the aggro, it's kind of it's a lot of it's based on our draws, whether we get the right or not. Honestly,
sort of pick up your first 11 cards, see which of us has better ones.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of lucked out a bit because both my Gruul opponents had to mull quite a fair bit.
Sure. Yeah. Well, the deck's obviously capable of capitalizing on that. If they don't get a fast start, then you can take it over pretty easily. And Sphinx's Revelation has a habit of putting the nail in the coffin. All right, Ken, I know you said you were thinking about playing in the next Standard Open. You don't want to try and back-to-back it this weekend? Or?
I don't know. I'm pretty wiped. And the deck takes so long to win. All the matches go almost a time. That's why I'm not sure if I want to play the next
You got a draw, a natural draw in
the
or I should say a natural draw in the first tournament. So you had to win out in order to even make the top 8. So I can respect that. It's been a long weekend. I above all, can certainly appreciate the need for rest. So congrats again, Ken.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. I'm going to throw it back to the booth with Matthias and Cedric, and they'll close you out before we move on.